If your brain is at full capacity with to-dos, birthdays, and dinner plans, meet Skylight Calendar. It syncs your entire family's schedule onto a sleek digital display, so you focus on important things like where you left your coffee. Right now, Skylight is offering our listeners $30 off their 15-inch calendars by going to skylightcal.com/talk. Go to skylightcal.com/talk for $30 off your 15-inch calendar. That's skylightcal.com/talk.
Time is precious, and so are our pets. So time with our pets is extra precious. That's why we started Dutch. Dutch provides 24/7 access to licensed vets with unlimited virtual visits and follow-ups for up to 5 pets. You can message a vet at any time and schedule a video visit the same day. Our vets can even prescribe medication for many ailments, and shipping is always free. With Dutch, you'll get more time with your pets and year-round peace of mind when it comes to their vet care.
I don't know. You think this is it? Like, this is finally where everything bubbles up to, and this is where the conclusion comes in? Me neither. We got a lot to talk about, because welcome to the J-Man Show here on
J360 Radio!
Hey, how's it going, J360 Legion? What is happening? It's J-Man, of course, and welcome back to the J-Man Show. It has been a while since I've been on this series. I know, right? The last episode you had was all the way back in January, and I'll be perfectly honest with you. I was going to bring this show back in at least July, but because I had a lot of things to deal with. But let me tell you this, though. I got plenty to deal with right now because, yes, there's too much going on. And not to mention, you are pretty much seeing what happens when the federal government is under siege and being destroyed on the inside out by a bunch of crazy-ass white folks. I'm going to be perfectly honest with you, right? There are times where I have like a bit of a love-hate relationship, mostly with the American government. Not the American people and not America in itself. America hasn't always been bad to me, because at the end of the day, I always did right by it and it always did right by me. I never look to the government to give me anything, unlike other people in this damn country. And then at the end of the day, I look and see, like, more and more people out there that are entitled, but they're not doing right and thinking that they're the only ones on this planet that deserve certain things, whereas other people do not. And that, to me, is really, really sad. It's pitiful, even. It's just as bad as, like I said before, the way that everybody reelected Trump to be president, because he's not a president, he's a despot. He's pretty much just trying to run around and be a king, and the thing about it is he doesn't deserve to be one. I mean, a long time ago, maybe he was about that business life. Maybe he was born into something. Maybe he was a big deal, but he was never a big deal to me. You see what I'm saying? And the fact that you take a reality star and a draft dodger and a man who committed more bankruptcies than success. Matter of fact, let's just be perfectly honest. After the 80s and after all the land developing that he did dried up and stuff, he was ruining his own shit. And it was his daughter that really rebounded and made everything else, like those Trump steaks and all that kind of stuff. I don't know whether they were good or not, but people bought them because of the name and the image. You know what I mean? She went for that, which saved his empire. And then not to mention all the many times that the government bailed him out. But we won't dive into the truth, right? Because the truth is not popular. And you're seeing lots and lots of people trying to play that game. Oh, the truth's not popular. So what? Haters are gonna hate. He ain't got nothing that I hate. At the end of the damn day, I just look at him as somebody else with too much money and too busy worrying about what everybody else thinks about him to even do a fucking job. This is his second time. On behalf of all of you rubes out there who actually thought you were going to get something. You didn't get it the first time. What the hell make you think you're going to get it the second time? You know what I mean? If this was like a thing, I guess this is the Trump Strikes Back movie where everybody loses, even those that did not vote for him because we knew better. You know what I'm saying? It's like this. Looking at this kind of stuff, it's not even about whose fault it is at this point. But you're seeing that things that are getting wrecked should not be wrecked. Like I even said before in the little tidbit I gave you guys last time when I was going after people who were trying to mess up jams and forgot the reason I'm on this friggin' network. The reason why I started building this production company is because of people like Trump. You know what I'm saying? Because you can't just work for people all the time, you know? Sometimes you can do it better, and sometimes, you know, there's something that you really want out here in the world, but you got to get it for yourself, so you might as well go into making your own business. And yeah, making your own business is tough. You have taxes. You have things to keep on top of. You have people that don't believe in your idea now and again. You have people that think that they can do your idea better, but they can't even sustain their idea. And the truth is, you got a bunch of lying, grifting, jerkwater people out here that have done nothing more than just cause nothing but problems for people. Can't build shit, so they have to wreck shit. And the worst kind of thing is they want to treat people like they don't matter or they don't know what they're talking about. Fine, act like my mom if you want, but let me just tell you this. As many times as I proved her ass wrong, I'm going to do the same thing to a lot of y'all. And that's no different than Trump. Trump has an axe to grind against almost everybody, even people that have done nothing to him. What have the school kids done to him? You understand what I'm saying? I really do feel sorry for the kids. You know? Because you're going after things like PBS, NPR, you're going after education. I mean, what the fuck is going on? That is an institution. And you know, the truth is, a lot of y'all were like, hey, I'm not going to pay my student loans. Hey, I'm not going to do this with my student loans. This is the one time where I might agree with other people. If you take a loan out, okay? A loan is not a gift. You pay that loan, okay? It'll get bigger or whatever the hell it's going to be because of interest, but you got to pay that loan. And see, the thing about it is what the federal government, the only federal thing the federal government's supposed to do is to make sure that interest cost is taken care of while you're in school. Or making sure that, you know, you're able to handle these things. But for some reason, people are just not responsible. People are not responsible even when they get caught in things. When they get caught doing things, even from like people that are like yay tall to elder age, they will always be the first thing to do is to deny what they did wrong. Right? I mean, you see it on reality TV all the time where somebody is well within the wrong and they keep arguing and lying and justifying why they did what they did. And then they try to make it seem like it's for the greater good, but it wasn't for nothing except for their own influence or, you know, dare I say it, their own self-interest. You know, take it from me, like somebody who, you know, I had a dream to go to California, right? A lot of y'all remember that. Didn't take, right? I had more damn obstacles dealing with that than a little bit. But you know what? I didn't give up on the idea and I didn't quit doing J360 Productions. I went ahead and I made another way to do things because that's responsibility. Responsibility to change things around and to do the right thing and to make stuff happen for you. You're going to have setbacks. You're going to have moments where things don't take. And there are going to be moments where people around you on the outside looking in give up on you and write you off. I'm used to that crap. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, I know that even when I make my million or so, you're not getting any damn part of that money, and the truth is you're not entitled to it. It's just like when I was dating that girl, and you know what? She didn't stick around. Did I worry about her ass? For one day maybe, but the second day I got right back on top of everything. The thing about it is that people are always going to come and go. People are going to be expendable in your life no matter what you do. And nowadays everything's being tested, and I done lost a lot of so-called friends because this motherfucker's back in office, and I called him out on all of his crap. Oh yeah, you know, don't think just because I'm not on the air that I'm not still being me. This stuff that's going down nowadays just doesn't make any sense. And like anytime I disagree with people, they act like I need to agree with them. Like it's really going to help them get where they need to be. If that's how it is, if that's like your overall weight in this world is like me agreeing with you, like you better might as well just get a damn dog or something. Because here's the thing. I'm not agreeing with somebody whose whole intent is to make things harder for people of color, for LGBTQ people, for people that you pretty much see that are going through it. Like I'm not gonna go ahead and say, oh yeah, he has the right idea, he has a good plan. He don't have no damn plan. He didn't have a damn plan when he knew that he was gonna win. You know what I'm saying? Like, even in that debate he had with Kamala Harris, he had no fucking plan. That girl was ribbing him left and right. And the thing is, I was on a show not too long ago where the host was over there saying, yeah, Trump won. I was like, how fucking delusional are you? But you know, the problem is with people that are delusional is because something has made this delusion grown. Something has made this delusion take center stage and root and has grown over years and stuff like that. It's kind of like if I put you on a job and you went about the job wrong, like you don't have the camera set up, you're not filming where the players are playing on the field, or you're not filming anything outside of the pretty girl working the snack bar, which, you know, I'll probably look at it and say, hey, that's pretty nice, but that's not what you're fucking to do. You know what I mean? That's not the job you're here to do. You're here to do that assignment that I would give you. There's contracts involved. There are things that need to be done. The least you can do is honor the deal. But if you want to show me that you have no idea what you're doing and that you cannot be responsible worth a damn, well, guess what? It's working for you, because you're seeing a lot of people twice my age that are not being responsible like they should be. And making things harder for people, by the way. Like, there is no reason on earth that you have that idiot Elon Musk going up there showing around like a chainsaw and everything, talking about we are going to cut bureaucracy, and then create a whole nother false agency that is designed pretty much to take information from, you know, my parents, your parents, grandparents, or whatever, and then our stuff. You understand what I'm saying? He don't need access to us, our Social Security and everything. That is our fucking money. It's just like the stimuluses that were given out, right? Part of that was our money. And you know what I mean? I mean all of it. And you know, I already know that things are on the deep end, because I had a coworker, and he said, I hope he tears apart the IRS next. Why? Why? The IRS ain't going nowhere. And I'm going to tell you why it's not going nowhere. Because that shit's going to be weaponized against us. You know what I mean? There's going to be some crazy-ass audits to come in the next year. See, because we're not riding on the Trump budget right now. We're riding on what remains of the Kamala Harris and Biden budget. So, you know, because every time that is like that, if we ever get another election and all that kind of stuff, because this is some bullshit. But if we ever get another election, every president that's coming in does not have to worry about the budget, at least for the first year, because this will help them get settled so that they can go ahead and make their budget plan, make all their stuff come together, make all the fiscal actually work for them. And believe me, the way the rich are going and the way they be crying, it's going to work out for them a lot, because if you are pouring in a certain area on that damn IRS form, my God, if they ain't going to come for your ass. But what about veterans? What about those that gave the... He don't care about veterans, man. I mean, you can look at all of that crap. He does not give a damn. He over there talking one way, but at the end of the day, you can see there is nothing but lofty ideas in that stuff. It's like listening to Dr. Oz talk. A lot of false hope and promises that will never be made because they can't be enforced like anything. It's kind of like the idea of, yeah, you're going to put a lien against people's wages to pay back their student loans if those student loans are in default. But you got to realize this. You did not make student loans easy to pay for. You know what I mean? Like, you made them easy to sign up for and everything, but when it comes to maintaining, keep an eye on that loan, either the website's under maintenance, or either they did not get the check that was mailed. It's a whole lot of BS with that. If you make it easier for people to be able to maintain keeping their debt low, it probably wouldn't be such a problem. You know what I'm saying? But you see a lot of companies and a lot of people that have businesses that make money on people being in debt. They do not want you to get out of debt. You know, you see it on the ads all the time where they're always telling you to spend, hand over fist, spend on more stuff that you don't need. Like, when you really think about it, I did a lot of budgeting a lot of budgeting reviews for J360 Productions, myself, and a few things because, you know, with the idea of tariffs and all, which, by the way, I'm glad that you all finally have made that word popular. You know, you all know what a damn tariff is. Isn't that cute? But here's the thing. Nothing has happened yet. Because poorly thought idea that is not being implemented well, except for like certain areas like maybe Temu and some areas on eBay and all that kind of stuff. And then there are people in other countries that ain't worried about your ass because they got other clientele. You know what I mean? If you got one source of clientele, like an OnlyFans model would be, where they talk about like all men are creepy and all that stuff, but at the same time the men find out about it, get smart, and they don't give this bitch money anymore. What do you think happens? There ain't no company no more now, is it? You think about that, right? And a lot of y'all were making fun of those people who are boycotting a lot of the businesses and all that kind of stuff out here. I totally get why you do it, but you see, sometimes saying no with your wallet shows consumer power. And the truth is, no man's an island, but nowadays we all practicing on being one, aren't we? Some places don't need your money, but you know, if you're like certain other people that have no choice but to go to that Walmart that's in your neighborhood, that's your place to go. If you're like some of them people that have that Safeway to go to and stuff like that, that's your place to go. It's really unfortunate, but you're seeing all these things out here that, again, some of these people don't choose these places. These places are there, and they have to go there in order to actually make their, get their food and all that kind of stuff. But, a lot of people are actually taking the time to garden their food and, run like, the little chicken houses and everything for themselves, which is okay. But if you got the time to do that, you got the time to do that. But if you don't have the time to do that, you're going to have to go shopping like I do. And the thing is that I don't think anybody would have a problem paying their bills. And I'm going to tell you guys this. A bill is an extension of you. Don't make it a hard time for you to pay your bill. Okay? If you know that you got debt coming up out of nowhere, it's time to go ahead and just realize the little bit of money we get in. Okay, go get your groceries, but you got a budget. You got to go ahead and pay that stuff down so you can have your good credit, so you can take control of your power. That's the way it is. Your consumer power is based off of, how much risk you can migrate through and how much responsibility you can maintain. And they're not telling you this. I done told you. We're surrounded by ads. We're surrounded by all this stuff all the time. And things that used to be free, like talking to somebody used to be free. Now you got to go ahead and do all this other, paywall on this, paywall on that. And it's just stupid. And I almost spat at that because at the end of the day, it's like, the human race is gross, man. We done found a way to really be disgusting to each other. But I'm telling you this, if you take like I would say take time away from appearances for a little while and be responsible and take care of yourself and your loved ones a little bit more, you're going to be fine. Okay? And that way you ain't got a mountain of debt to cry about, whereas your counterparts are going to be saying, can you loan me? Can you spare me a few bucks? Can you do all that stuff? And be careful, because I think like some people, once again, don't know the difference between what loan and gift is. A loan and a gift are two very different things. You know what I mean? If I give you $200, I don't expect to get that $200 back. But if I loan you $200, you best be going ahead and giving me $250 or $300. Interest, motherfucker. Interest. And you know what? That sounds like loan sharking, but at the end of the day, when you behind like a bank wall and all that kind of stuff, it ain't nothing but money lendering, isn't it? You know what I'm saying? Isn't it amazing how terms like that can be interchangeable? It's wild, isn't it? But you see, like right now, you're seeing all this stuff with the lien against the wages and everything. But some of those people were working in those jobs, such as like, Department of Agriculture, even though it really didn't get hit as much, but it did get hit. But like some of those departments, even like the Park Service Department and everything, they were 9-to-5ers. They weren't like rich people working out there. That was somebody's job. And they over here trying to mess with people's jobs. I'm like, what in the living hell? Somebody depends on that income and that livelihood. And you know what? They might be in more debt than you are. But now that you did this and you're forced to pay and all that kind of stuff, I mean, everything revolves around money when it comes like that. You understand what I'm saying? It's just like this. I don't expect a lot of people to invest in certain things that I have right now, but later on, yeah. Because I would like everybody to make it. I would like everybody to take responsibility. Like, you don't see me coming out and saying, hey guys, give me money so I can go ahead and be rich and just get out of this whole thing. Huh? You know what? Pay me my money. Give me my money. No, I don't need it. Because I want a lot of y'all to really realize this. Like, a lot of these people that voted for all that red state shit, because they don't make
If your brain is at full capacity with to-dos, birthdays, dinner plans, meet Skylight Calendar. It syncs your entire family's schedule onto a sleek digital display, so you focus on important things, like where you left your coffee. Right now, Skylight is offering our listeners $30 off their 15-inch calendars by going to skylightcal.com/talk. Go to skylightcal.com/talk for $30 off your 15-inch calendar. That's skylightcal.com/talk.
Time is precious, and so are our pets. So time with our pets is extra precious. That's why we started Dutch. Dutch provides 24/7 access to licensed vets, with unlimited virtual visits and follow-ups for up to 5 pets. You can message a vet at any time and schedule a video visit the same day. Our vets can even prescribe medication for many ailments, and shipping is always free. With Dutch, you'll get more time with your pets and year-round peace of mind when it comes to their vet care.
Money like they should. They've been borrowing, and to the point where they're going to be in debt for just about ever until somebody comes up in there and cleans up the whole state from top to bottom. You think about some of these states and why they all lining together and stuff like that. You think about it. That whole blue states carry red states thing is actually a fact. But nobody wants to believe that. Nobody wants to believe anything because of Democrats versus Republicans. And things are so damn out of whack right now. There is no need for no Democrats versus Republican, because at the end of the day, for every shit Republican, there's a shit Democrat too. But here's the thing, right? You want to get rid of terrible leadership for better leadership, for leadership that actually can help you along the way. That's what you want to do. But you're seeing it all the time, though, where people are not being responsible. And it's really a damn shame. You know, like this show wasn't really intended to be a politics show. And it technically isn't. This is history in real time. You're seeing all this stuff play out in front of you. And are things getting any better? Shit, no. I mean, the only thing that when things get better is when you can admit that you're wrong and that there's a problem and you can fix it. You know what I'm saying? And I know that there's a lot of you out there who are educated and knowledgeable enough to know that by messing with the Department of Education, messing with the Department of Agriculture, messing with clean water, messing with clean air, messing with a whole lot of things that benefit all of us. And let me just tell you this, clean air and clean water, it doesn't matter how much money you have. That's accessible for everybody because we need that to live. You understand what I'm saying? And then you see why he got rid of the Parks Department, because that's land over there that those people want to privatize, mine, and utilize for like any sort of stupid experiment they got. This is not about getting rid of migrants and stuff like that. This is not about getting rid of immigrants entirely. This is about control. This is about control, manipulation, and who's lying to who. Like I said, everything's a grift. There is more to this stuff. And when you think about it, the Department of Education is not a broke institution. Not federally anyway. State, questionable. But you think about it though, there's a lot of money in education. And when you realize all these, for every institution that Doge and the Elon Musk goons done shut down, there's money in that. So all that money is being laundered up. Like, if there's one thing Trump is not good at being, and I'll say this ahead of time, he's not good at being a president. He's not good at being a real leader he don't see you unless you got money like he does. But let me tell you this, right? He can't handle criticism like anything, which is another reason why he's not qualified to be no damn leader. A leadership position is the most criticized position there is, next to being out there as a grunt working in like any sort of, manufacturing. Well, not manufacturing. Let's say food service. Like if you're working in food service, or if you're working as like somebody that works in deli, meat, and stocking inside of a grocery store, they're going to go at you first about it. They're going to criticize you. They're going to say a whole lot of things about you because they're hungry. They feel a certain way. They're entitled. And you know what? You're the first person that represents, and they see you there. They give you a hard time about it. But you see, the thing is, a leader in charge of that whole area and stuff like that, they get it just as bad too. Some of them do anyway. And when they do, it's usually between that person and the management over them, in addition to all sorts of other things, and not to mention your criticism. If you can't handle that stuff, you cannot be a leader. See, the thing is, people criticize me all the time when I'm doing J360 productions. They criticize me all the time when I'm out there doing event videography and all that kind of stuff. Now, the thing about it is that I get them back in the end because I still show up, I still make my money, and you still got to pay my ass regardless what. Otherwise, we're going to be in front of a judge talking. I don't work for free. College is over with. So you got to think about this for a minute. Be real, be responsible, and understand that some people are just not playing with you. You know, I had a friend one time who said, whenever I hear about this stuff, I just laugh. Yeah, well, you know what? While you're burning and falling apart and not able to pay for stuff or have to deal with those tariff bills and everything else, let me just say this, right? You can laugh at that, and I'm going to look right at you and say, aren't you dumb being stupid? I don't care if any of you fools are out here laughing about that kind of stuff, because at the end of the day, laugh to hide the tears, right? At least I'm not lying to you every damn day, pissing in your face and telling you it's raining. Now am I? You know what I mean? I'm very serious when it comes to business. And for those of you that don't know any better, it's like this. Or you just say, well, you seem like you were just really funny on Jams. I just didn't know what the show was. I don't know. Well, you know now, don't you? See, the truth is that I like the idea of making money, but I also like the idea of everybody making it, or at least trying. I like the idea of everybody having some wins and successes in their life. You should do that. You know what I'm saying? But you can't get to point A to point B until you take care of what's going on here first. You understand? It's like if you want to go back to school, damn your friends, go back to school. If you want to go ahead and learn how to make music and you're about 50 years old, I mean, damn what everybody else says, go make music. There is no age limit for a lot of these things. It's just as long as you want to do it and you want to live. Right now, it should be about us making art. It should be about us making, making this culture and this future something worth living in. We're in a bad way right now, but it doesn't have to be like that all the time. You know? And these fools, like I told you guys a long time ago, people in mainstream media, they're in a rut. They're in a drought. They're always looking at what we're doing. They're not always going to admit it. Remember the thing I told you about denial and all that kind of stuff? They're not going to admit it, but they're always looking at what me, you, or anybody else out here is doing so they can rip off of it, or at the same time try to make something a lot better than what it is. And you know what? With the way their track record goes, they're going to have a hell of a time doing it because they're in their own way. People don't make things enjoyable for people anymore, it seems like. It seems like it's all about the money and the grifting, and it's never about, like, the return on interest. And it's really shameful. That's another reason why I went into business for myself to create this production company. It takes a lot of effort, takes a lot of work. But you know what? To my friend that said, all I ever do is laugh at stuff. Yeah, he only got one time to do that in front of me, and his ass is gone. I don't keep people around. I don't chase people. I don't keep people around like that. I am very aware of the company I keep. And a lot of y'all motherfuckers are on thin ice. And that shit is cracking every hour. I'm not kidding. This stuff nowadays is uncalled for. It's ungrateful. And what's really interesting is, and like I said, people are going to be tested. Going to be tested a lot these next 4 years. And you'll be surprised to see exactly who remains friends and who don't remain friends and all that kind of stuff. Because here's the thing. All this stuff is just honesty coming out of you. Some of you don't want to see other people make it. Some of you believe that money is the only answer. Money is a tool, but don't you be a tool about it. You know? Because you're seeing how people are when it comes to that. It's not always about, like, people saying compassion is weak and stuff like that. I would like to say if you're worried about what everybody is saying about you, that's weak. And it's really a damn shame, y'all. It really is. Even as I'm doing this episode right now, telling you guys about this stuff, it's just like, we could do better. And, like, at the end of the day, but yeah, a lot of y'all are angry about that, right? Because Falcon, before he became Captain America, he said that to that senator, and y'all like, I'm going to make a meme about this. I'm going to make a meme about true to form. Own up to what happened, and don't let it happen again. You know what I mean? That's the thing about history. That's the number one thing a lot of y'all forget about history because you're too busy trying to debunk history. You're too busy trying to be the iconoclast about history. You're too busy trying to be the devil's advocate about anything regarding history, science, and any of the great pathological ways to learn things. All of the great learning subjects, you all want to debunk shit. How about we honor it? How about we say, like, guess what? This is stupid. You know what I mean? This is happening because we didn't learn anything from this the first time. This is happening because we believe that there's this magical amount of wealth and we're all getting it. The only thing we're getting is a bill. That's the only thing we're all going to get. And, oh, by the way, for some of you out there, you will never be white. You will never be with Donald Trump at his table. You will never be there unless you're serving the man. And that is about it. And while we're on the subject, note I said man. I didn't say God because he's not a God. Stop running around here trying to make you think that he is God. He is not. Hell, he's not even the God from the Old Testament. Y'all better stop that bullshit right now. He's a man like you and me, and he's allowed to be criticized because he's out here in the public and he's trying to mess with everybody's livelihood and everybody's job. And that's really fucked up. You didn't even get a low cost of eggs, did you? None of that stuff went down, right? Of course it didn't. And you know, it's funny, too. For a group of people that don't want government intervention, when you call them out on their nonsense, what's the first thing they usually do? They run right to the government, don't they? So the hypocrisy is real. And it's a lot more realer than it's ever been. Especially in this day and age. And I'm disgusted. This isn't even about like what political party I support or whatever. You know, because here's the thing. I hate to hurt y'all feelings with it, but I might as well. I'm a registered independent. You know? There's things that there are things that I am conservative about, and then there are things that I am liberal about. And the truth is, I ain't losing sleep at night about any of that BS. Stop being wild, man. But, you know, this just needed to be said. Like, at the end of the day, you thought that you were going to get something out of this. And, like I said, you're not going to get exactly what you think it is. You're going to see all these things mess around and stuff. Because, well, you know, half the damn time, when somebody tells you this stuff, and if I tell you something that you want to believe, you believe Trump like you believe Tony Robbins. Let's put it that way. You know, like that big man to tell you all this, become the giant within. And you know what? That might not be the same thing for some of you of a younger generation, but yeah, he went around town and he was a motivational speaker and all those kind of things. And the truth is, guess what? I can give you a shot of confidence too. You can be anything you want to be. Yeah, you really can. But then you see the bills and everything else come up and stuff like that. The rest of that stuff is up to you, and you got to be responsible about it. And if you're not responsible about it, well, them's the breaks, right? Default on everything. And I gotta say, when you borrow money, you better make sure who you borrow money from. And a lot of y'all don't. And then they come up with the bill and they look at you and say, hey, where's our money? Everything's a grift, man. Oh, speaking of which, do I need to dive into that whole thing about the economy and America first and how that's just bullshit right now? Because, you know, every country is connected to each other in some form or way. And by you doing that, you just disrupt honest trade. So, like, you kind of fucked up trading in general. So, like, yeah. Do I need to go into the idea that the market is global? So the idea of us being cut off from dealing with some of our trading partners and all because of this tariff nonsense is not going to help at all. We had a booming economy. I don't know what it is anymore. Of course, but, you know, there is going to be some idiot that works at Walmart that wants to tell me, like, oh, well, you know, and I'm not going at people who work in Walmart. Some of you working in Walmart, I know your game. Some of y'all are making good money. And you don't want nothing to mess with it. But, yeah, you'll be surprised, won't you? I will never disrespect anybody who works at a job like that. If you work at a job like that, that's on you. That's something that you want to do. Okay? Or you probably are trying to go to college, or you're probably trying to go to your trade schools and all that kind of stuff, and there's nothing wrong with it. Education is important. But as I talk about that, I know of somebody that he works in a freezer at Walmart, and he had like somebody want that job. Don't nobody want that fucking job. I mean, hell, I used to work in jobs like that all the time. I was glad when I got out. Yeah, sure. In the summertime, it sounds like a dream, but, you know, there are moments where, like, guess what? It isn't all that great. You know? Because after a while, you want something new. You want to grow. You want to evolve. But I'm sure he'll probably say something like, somebody want that job. Ain't nobody want that fucking job. Shoot. Like, when I was at the meat department, I mean, it was all right, but let me tell you this. The shit I seen in there, though, make you not want to buy meat. And I'm not talking about people cutting meat. Nah. I'm talking about, like, the way that stuff was handled. The way it came in off the truck and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, so, you know, think about it next time at your barbecue. If you can afford it, with the way things are going down. But I figured I could go ahead and tell you a little lighthearted story in there, and I guess I kind of failed at that, because that wasn't lighthearted at all. But it's just like anything else anymore, you know? We are going to have to ride this out, though. Ride this out. I know a lot of y'all have been saying certain things. I know a lot of y'all out there have plans, plots, whatever you do. But not like that, y'all. Not like that. Ride this nonsense out. Some people even said that he's got article of impeachments against him again. Which, once again, meh. Had to see what happens, because I'm going to tell you the honest truth. J.D. Vance is just nothing more than a fall guy in that whole thing. If you really look at all the cronies in Incompetence Inc. 2.0 right now, every single one of them have problems. Yeah, I'm including Linda McMahon. There's silly ass. I mean, so Vince cheated on you. Don't take it out on people. Oh, boy. But anyway. You know what? I'm not even going to put ads on this episode. Matter of fact, no, I'm not going to. You know why? Because this is news for everybody. Matter of fact, when I put this on the Ko-fi and everything else, you guys could tip or donate if you want to. But no, this is going to be open to everybody because you all need to know this stuff. The subject matter alone here needs to be said. And like I said before, pay attention to whatever the hell you're listening to, because the news media is not being responsible either. Oh, and then this really gets to me, because you got to protect public media. Public media belongs to us, by the way. Yeah, so, you know, people are against PBS right now because of the nonsense and the lie being told out there. Who would have thought episodes of Antique Roadshow, This Old House, and a Ken Burns documentary, along with NewsHour, would really bother the hell out of a lot of you, huh? Who would have thought that? Or reruns of Arthur and Magic School Bus and some reruns of Reading Rainbow for the kids would really affect you. That's silly. That is really silly. So here's the thing. ProtectMyPublicMedia.org. Like, go for that. Like, help donate those local stations. Help keep that stuff on air, because that is like the best news. Like, any of those top 3 network news outlets, they are not good for you. MSNBC hasn't been good in years. Fox News damn sure hasn't been good in years. And CNN, please. Nah, PBS NewsHour is like the best. And NPR, I mean, once again, that is some good news right there. And then all of a sudden you look at like NPR with the Tiny Desk. Oh, the Tiny Desk bother you, huh? That's a damn shame too. But that's the story for another episode. This is J-Man signing off. I got to get out of here. And by the way, for those of you conservative jerks out there, to hell with y'all. Peace.
If your brain is at full capacity with to-dos, birthdays, and dinner plans, meet Skylight Calendar. It syncs your entire family schedule onto a sleek digital display, so you focus on important things like where you left your coffee. Right now, Skylight is offering our listeners $30 off their 15-inch calendars by going to skylightcal.com/talk. Go to skylightcal.com/talk for $30 off your 15-inch calendar. That's skylightcal.com/talk.
Time is precious, and so are our pets. So time with our pets is extra precious. That's why we started Dutch. Dutch provides 24/7 access to licensed vets with unlimited virtual visits and follow-ups for up to 5 pets. You can message a vet at any time and schedule a video visit the same day. Our vets can even prescribe medication for many ailments, and shipping is always free. With Dutch, you'll get more time with your pets and year-round peace of mind when it comes to their vet care.